Welcome to 100 Yards of Football this morning. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. And I have a very special video as I'm going to honor one of the greatest football players that played in the National Football League, my man, Walter Payton, out of Columbia, Mississippi, by way of Jackson State, fourth round pick in the 1975 NFL draft. And the player that I think is comparable to him is the young man that's going into the 2021 NFL draft, Mr. Javonte Williams. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. Let me start with Walter Payton. It's words that can't explain when you see greatness before your eyes at a young age. And the reason that I picked Walter Payton today because he's my father's favorite player with the Chicago Bears. Today, homage to my father in Memphis, Tennessee from the 901 Chester Turner. And my daddy used to love this man because he said, when it's all said and done, this young man is going to be the best that ever done it at the running back position. Over the past few months, you've heard me say that Jerry Rice here on 100 Yards of Football was the best football player that played in NFL, pound for pound. But today, I'm going to change my vote. I'm going to say Mr. Rice is 1A and Mr. Payton is 1B. And when you look at Walter Payton's career, he came out of Columbia, Mississippi in high school, was only recruited really by one major school, which was Kansas State. No schools in the SEC wanted him. No Alabamas, no LSUs, no Georgias. But Jackson State did under the great head coaching of Bob Hill. And what they produced was a young man that took the storm by the league in 1975 when he got drafted by the Chicago Bears with the fourth overall pick. And the thing that made his situation so much different, the people in Chicago in the National Football League were saying, oh, he made a mistake. The organization made a mistake. Who is this guy coming in the league from Jackson State, a small school? But a lot of people didn't understand the history of Jackson State football. Now, think about what Walter Payton played with and came behind. Lynn Barney, Gloston Richardson, Coy Bacon. He was teammates with Robert Bazille, Jackie Slater, Vernon Perry, and here recently Jimmy Smith was a pretty good football player. That was a second-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys in the 96 draft. So he came from a school that's got a lot of history down there in the SWAC. But what I think made Walter Payton so much different and why today I have to put him in the 1B category, that he went to an organization that was really struggling. In his first 9 years in the league, they only had one winning season, and one season they went 500. Think about that. One winning season, and one season they went 500. And from that standpoint, the Bears got beat up. And he was the only thing the Chicago Bears offense had. And teams used to load the box. But you know about Walter Payton? He was the most durable, reliable, and strongest football player at that time. But another thing that set me apart, that really why I put him on my list today, 1977, he was MVP, over 1,852 yards rushing. But that year, he broke the single game rushing record. At that time, he had 275 yards rushing against Minnesota on a 104-degree temperature. But another thing that year, he averaged 132 yards a game on a 14-game schedule. Lord have mercy. Can you say amen? Then think about this overall in his career. 10 1,000-yard seasons, 110 touchdowns, 180 consecutive games. Walter Payton is something in the water down there in Mississippi, like I told you all the time. People come out of that great state. It's something they do on the greatest level. Archie Manning. Can I say amen? Jerry Rice, Steve McNair, the great actor James Earl Jones, the great actor Morgan Freeman, the great author William Faulkner. So I'm going to get back to what I'm saying. He's from the state of Mississippi, so I'm not surprised. And my parents, Chester and Inez Turner, from the great state of Mississippi. The thing that really takes him more to the top, at 32 years old, he had 1,300 yards rushing, 1,700 yards, all-purpose yards at 32 years old. Look at the landscape today. of the running back position as we talk about now. Running backs don't go past 28 or 29 years old. That's it. And Walter Payton would have been a fantasy guy. That's why I got him as pound for pound the best football player along with Jerry Rice. Now I'm going to move over to Javonte Williams. I look at a lot of running backs coming into this draft over the past few years. Right now, a lot of people are hot on Najee Harris. A lot of people are hot on Travis Etienne. When you look at this young man here, I think he puts in the mold of Walter Payton only on one reason. Look at that stiff arm now. You know who had the greatest stiff arm in the game? The young man here from Columbia, Mississippi that's on the screen, Walter Payton. But what really makes me think the similarity between Javonte Williams and Walter Payton is the balance, the ability to don't run out of bounds and take on contact. And Mr. Williams in his career in North Carolina, almost 3,000 yards rushing and 53 touchdowns. When it's all said and done, I think this young man is going to be the next great running back coming in the National Football League. And I don't care what nobody said about Najee Harris. I don't care what nobody said about Travis Etienne, Kenny Gainwell, or University of Memphis. This young man is going to be it. Now, why I say that? To end it all, Mr. Williams had the same similarities as Mr. Payton. And when they talked about Mr. Payton, he finished, they talked about beast mode, pure as gold, Superman, poetry in motion, a lower body with legs of a mountain goat, stamina, strong, fought hard for every yard, and was a workout beast. That's why Walter Payton, in my opinion, pound for pound, along with Jerry Rice, is the greatest players that played in the National Football League. And Javonte Williams is going to keep that legacy going. So, at the end of the day, my final words, as the great Walter Payton said, if you forget my roots, you lost sight of everything. Think about that. If you forget your roots, you lose sight of everything. And to end it, when Walter Payton came in the league in 1975, it was a band by the name, an R&B band, by the name of Earth, Wind, and Fire. And they had a song called The Shining Star. Walter Payton was the shining star in the National Football League. And Javonte Williams is going to carry that shining star to the next level. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm Vincent Turner here on 100 Yards of Football, and enjoy the week in a blissful way.